It isn't just getting older. Something quiet and structural starts slipping away, and that loss shows up as swollen ankles, tight calves, and joints that click or refuse to bend like they used to. The word you hear on health feeds is collagen, the scaffolding your skin, tendons, and tiny blood vessels depend on. And when it drops, everything downstream changes. We'll walk through 8 foods that actually give your body what it needs, the electrolytes and building blocks to push excess fluid out, the amino acids that rebuild tissue, and simple prep tips so the food works the way it should. No drama, just real food, small moves, and something to try tomorrow. Myth versus reality. Why pills and creams aren't the whole answer. The supplement aisle tells quick stories. Take this pill, rub this cream, feel younger. Some collagen supplements do show measurable benefits for skin elasticity and certain joint markers. But the evidence is mixed and depends a lot on the product, dose, and whether it's paired with the right nutrients. Real food gives you more than isolated peptides. It gives you vitamin C, zinc, copper, and other coactors that let your body actually assemble collagen. Think of supplements as tools, not miracles. And remember, the marketing machine is louder than the lab. So if you want something that lasts, you'll want to pair targeted supplements with specific foods that feed the whole repair system. Transition first, the fastest wins. Control the fluid power group. Quick wins with potassium and hydration. Swollen legs are often a plumbing problem. Sodium holds water, potassium helps move it back out. Foods rich in potassium balance fluids, relax muscles, and reduce that heavy leg feeling. The top practical players here are avocado, creamy, high potassium and heart-healthy fats. White beans, slow-release potassium that steadies fluid balance. Steamed spinach, more useful cooked than raw. Coconut water, fast-acting electrolytes. And watermelon, hydrating with vasodilating compounds. Eat these intentionally. A half avocado with lemon on whole grain toast, a cup of cooked white beans in a salad, or a glass of unsweetened coconut water after dinner. Small swaps, big differences, especially if you're tweaking sodium at the same time. Coconut water, the surprising little rehydrator. Coconut water isn't just trendy, it's naturally rich in potassium, magnesium, and electrolytes and can be absorbed quickly. The kind of thing that gives tired legs a fast internal reset. The odd historical fact helps this land in the brain. In emergencies, coconut water has even been used as an IV fluid in settings where alternatives weren't available. That doesn't make it a medical panacea, but it does show how bioavailable its minerals are. For everyday life, choose plain, unsweetened coconut water and sip it between meals. Avoid sugary bottled blends that cancel the benefit. A simple cup after an activity, or that cup before bed instead of a heavy snack, can cut overnight puffiness for many people. Spinach. Why steaming beats salad thinking spinach looks healthy, but raw spinach carries oxalates that can lock up minerals like potassium and calcium. A quick steam, 1 or 2 minutes, breaks those compounds down and frees up the good stuff inside. That means 1 cup of steamed spinach gives a very different result than the same cup raw. More usable potassium, more iron availability, and a cleaner benefit for circulation and muscle function. Don't boil it away. Steaming keeps the nutrients in the leaf rather than washing them into a pot you throw out. Quick tip, drizzle a little olive oil and squeeze lemon to help your body absorb what's there. Transition, Potassium helps the fluid. Now let's rebuild the frame. Power Group B, collagen building and connective tissue helpers. If potassium fixes the plumbing, collagen rebuilds the walls. Your body needs specific amino acids, glycine, proline, hydroxyproline, plus vitamin C, copper, and zinc to make new collagen. The heavy hitters here are bone broth, or a broad spectrum of gelatin and collagen, bone marrow, rich in precursors and hyaluronic acid, gelatin, a cooked, highly absorbable collagen source, sardines, skin bones, real connective tissue, liver, dense in vitamin A and cofactors, egg yolks, glycine and proline, and papaya, an enzyme that helps your digestion unlock proteins. Each food brings a slightly different tool to the build and repair job. Some feed the scaffolding directly, others supply the helpers that let your body stitch it together. Transition. The top one is both ancient and surprisingly modern. Bone broth and marrow, the ancient elixirs that actually make sense. Bone broth isn't a trendy smoothie. When it's made right and long, slow simmering with bones that have joints and cartilage. The liquid concentrates gelatin, glycosaminoglycans, and small collagen peptides that are immediately usable by the digestive system. Drinking warm broth regularly is a low-effort way to deliver a spectrum of joint-supporting molecules. Bone marrow carries fat-soluble precursors and hyaluronic acid-like compounds that cushion joints and hydrate tissues. Homemade broth, or a carefully chosen quality version, beats the watery, low collagen store jars. Make a batch, sip a half cup in the morning, or use it as the base for simple dinners. It's an easy ritual that gives your body continuous repair. Material: gelatin, sardines, egg yolks, and papaya. The practical lineup: gelatin is cooked collagen. That means it's already broken into peptides your body can absorb. 10 grams a day mixed into tea, coffee, or a warm drink gives a steady supply of building blocks. Sardines are tiny but mighty. Eat the skin and bones for type 1 and 3 collagen and extra omega fats that stabilize tissue. Egg yolks pack glycine and proline plus fat to slow digestion and help absorption. Papaya brings papain, an enzyme that helps older digestive systems free up amino acids from proteins. Eat ripe, raw papaya, or blend it into a morning smoothie for best effect. Put simply, gelatin gives raw material, sardines give connective tissue fragments you can use immediately, egg yolks give amino acid helpers, and papaya makes the whole system more efficient. Transition. A few of these will raise eyebrows. Let's face that head on. The controversial but effective trio: chicken skin, liver, and the limits of weird foods. Yes, chicken skin. Yes, liver. They sound old school because they are, but they are also dense in the nutrients your body needs to rebuild collagen. Chicken skin contains type 1 collagen and elastin in the matrix around the fat. When roasted or slow-baked, it preserves those compounds better than deep-frying. Liver is a micro-storehouse of vitamin A, copper, and zinc, the cofactors your body needs to kickstart collagen synthesis. The controversy comes from how these foods were demonized in past decades and from legitimate cautions. Too much vitamin A from liver can be harmful, and fried or heavily processed versions of these foods introduce oxidation and inflammatory compounds. The takeaway: prepared correctly and eaten in modest amounts, they're powerful allies. If you're unsure, start small. A weekly slice of pate, a spoonful of marrow in soup, or the skin on the chicken breast once or twice a week. Transition. Food is one thing, How you combine it matters. High retention hacks, combos, timing, enforce simple routines. Here are 4 tight daily combos that stack fluid control with collagen support. Short, repeatable, and not fussy one. Breakfast, soft-boiled eggs with a half avocado on whole grain toast, plus a small cup of papaya. Why it works? Fat slows absorption. Eggs supply glycine, proline. Avocado supplies potassium to start the day with balanced fluids. 2. Midday snack, a handful of unsalted pistachios or a small cup of cooked white beans with parsley. Why? Slow-release potassium and magnesium stabilize levels through the afternoon. 3. Dinner, a bowl of bone broth-based soup with steamed spinach and a serving of sardines or chicken skin on the side. Why? Broth supplies gelatin, spinach adds cooked potassium and iron, sardines deliver connective tissue and omega fats. 4. Night ritual, unsweetened coconut water sipped after dinner, or a warm cup of gelatin dissolved in tea before bed. Why? Helps overnight fluid regulation and supplies building blocks while you rest. These are small changes you can actually do without a full diet overhaul. Transition, quick cautions before you double down. Safety notes, what to watch for and who should check first. This approach is powerful, but not everyone should increase potassium or vitamin A without a quick check. People with kidney disease, those on potassium-sparing medications, or anyone taking ACE inhibitors should consult a clinician before adding big potassium loads. The same goes for liver. A little goes a long way. Don't eat liver daily in large amounts because vitamin A can accumulate. Watch canned or processed versions of otherwise healthy foods. Canned beans often carry high sodium that fights the potassium benefits, and sweetened coconut water negates hydration advantages. Finally, if you're on blood pressure meds or diuretics, coordinate with your provider. Food affects physiology, just like medicine does, and the goal is safe, steady improvements. Transition. So what should you try first? A realistic, try this tomorrow plan, and the thought-provoking, closer. Pick one thing to test for 2 weeks. My recommendation, start with bone broth-based soup 3 times a week and add a half avocado to breakfast daily. That combo pairs a steady collagen input with reliable potassium in a way that's easy to track. Notice swelling, tightness, and how your shoes feel at the end of the day. Track one small metric, morning ankle tightness or whether rings slide on easier, and give it 2 to 4 weeks. That's enough time for circulation and tissue support to make a visible difference for many people. Here's the final thought to carry with you. Most health problems that feel permanent are often signals. Red flags your body is asking to be refueled differently. Food doesn't always fix everything, but when you feed the plumbing and the scaffolding at the same point, the results are often quietly dramatic. Which of these 8 will you try first? Tell us in the comments. Your experience could be the exact tips someone else needs.